Okay then, Helldivers, we're back. We've got loads to go over today. A major order that is probably the hardest thing that we have had to complete in quite some time. And we're going to shoot out a number of 1.5 billion and tell you the rest in a moment. I know, this is going to be crazy. Nonetheless, we are going to be diving into the Discord where Twinbeard lets us know what they're working on next. And for those of you guys who weren't aware on the relationship with Sony, we've got a really quick clarification as to what that is before we hit the Reddit. With that being said though, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications that turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you check out our sponsor, Instant Gaming. We're in the winter season and it's going to be getting cold outside, so what a better reason to get back inside and play through that list of games you've been meaning to play for ages. Well, you can get them cheaper now with the best deals, offers, promotions and discounts running up to 70% off. Instant Gaming's got your back. The link's in the description. Get your games a little cheaper today. Nonetheless, let's take a look at what's happening right now. So how can we best say what this major order is going to be like? Or how can we best show what this major order is going to be like? Well, this thing seems to do it quite nicely. This Reddit post received 6.5 thousand upvotes, and my oh my, this is probably the best representation of how this major order is going to look for the next 5 days. Yeah, 5 days. 1.5 billion. But 1.5 billion what, you may ask? Well, Terminids. But it's not quite that simple. We're going to take a look at the Galactic War Table right now. So, making our way over to the Galactic War Table, it seems an interesting stream of things seems to be happening, as we've got a new incoming message from Super Earth, which has rounds and rounds for it, except we don't actually have a briefing at all. That's right, we have got the generic bug that we have been seeing for quite some time. So we do have a dispatch order though, which, now yes, this isn't quite the same, but it's all we've got right now because the game is bugged yet again. There's a shock. Nonetheless, a new major order update. The Ministry of Defense is conducting a machine gun weaponry efficiency review. In service of this review, the Helldivers are tasked with data collection. The Helldivers are ordered to kill the enemies of freedom using the following support weapons: the M105 Stalwart, the MG43 machine gun, and the MG206 heavy machine gun. Yeah, okay, that seems like pretty simple, right? Until you take a look at the actual major order screening right here of 500 million to kill with the Stalwart, 500 million to kill with the machine gun, and 500 million to kill with the heavy machine gun. This does not seem possible whatsoever. It will be so damn interesting to see how close we genuinely can get towards it, and we can obviously tell that the Stalwart and the machine gun seem to be taking the primary usage of what people are wanting to operate with as of right now, and the heavy machine gun is probably going to take a little less on the forefront. But my oh freaking my, I don't know what this could mean and what this could lean into. Hopefully this kind of means that there's going to be a bit of a buff towards these 3 weapons. Maybe they're looking at what's actually being utilized with them and whether they're enjoyable, the statistics behind them. We do know that they use the major orders to kind of get a lot of the feedback and a lot of the data that they need with regards to certain weapons and changes in that. Although I think right now we're okay on the changes, man. We're okay on the changes. We just want more content, but we're not going to get into that again in this video, as we've covered that quite a lot just recently. But this one right here just clarifies what it is that they are definitely working on, as Twinbeard responded to somebody asking about an update and whether it's hiding under his beard, and he states, over the years I've found peanuts and pieces of meat in there, and since joining Arrowhead the occasional hotfix in between patches. We're working on some basic info on the DSS which we feel has been lacking, and which is a good thing regardless of updates. Now at the moment obviously they state that they're working on basic info on the DSS. I don't know what that actually means, whether that means that the overall actions on it don't seem to be utilized correctly, whether there needs to be changes towards the numbers. We have no idea, but the DSS is one of the big things that they're working on at the moment, and hopefully that will be something that they do rectify soon, because we've been speaking about the DSS for a little while. We know full well that the majority of players are not a massive fan of it, although for some reason the comment section just recently seems to be running on a basis of, but if you run the shield backpack then it's fine. I don't want to have to run the shield backpack, and just because they give me a shield relay where it's a static shield, that is good in situations, but it's not good overall. I want to be able to move around the map. I'm a run and gunner, man. I like to cause carnage on the go. I don't think I should be forced to use certain pieces of gear just because the barrage is en route. Nonetheless, though, for those of you guys who weren't aware, because apparently the communication and the relationship between Sony and Arrowhead was pretty much unknown, but apparently Sony actually own the game overall. Yes, obviously it was developed by Arrowhead, but as worded right here by B Vitamin, yeah, Sony owns the game, so it would be up to them to allow it or not. Now, the biggest problem that we have here is that the likelihood is that they are never going to realistically drop this game. It's not going to be an easy part way, and if there is any contracts involved, which is a time period of ownership, then it's going to be quite some time. So we'll see what happens there, but the likelihood is if you do not enjoy the Sony parts of the game and the bits that Sony are involved in, well, you're going to have to get used to them because they are not moving around whatsoever. One thing that people are enjoying though and are having fun with are this right here. You can obviously change the colors of your text, and we did show you that a few videos ago, but this one states right here, these POIs are getting weird, and this one discovered a DVD copy of Flubber 1997. Now I'm a 90s kid, I can appreciate the good joke, and the copy of Flubber, I've definitely tried to dig that out since seeing this Reddit post. I mean, I can't find it, but it's got to be here somewhere, right? It's such a good film if you haven't watched it already. And also, we are having some controversial conversations inside of the Reddit right now because you can vote to move the DSS to a planet in the gloom. Now, what is the DSS going to be able to do in there, you may ask? We have no idea, but yet a lot of us attempted to start making that move and move the DSS over to the location of Fori Prime. It currently right now has a 25% vote rate, which is an update from what the 2% is on this Reddit post. Loads of people are voting there, even myself. I'm intrigued to see what it does. Hopefully it clears up a bit of the gloom, although I feel like we just may lose the DSS for a little while. I think that's the realistic term of what's going to be happening here. To be fair, it's not even a bad thing. I think that they need to start introducing what's happening under the gloom, inside of the gloom, around the gloom, or just to actually get the gloom involved. Because right now the Terminids are really experiencing a lot. We have the gloom that seems to be happening quite a lot at the moment, and on top of that we also have Meridia, which is the black hole. Again, they've got so much stuff going on, and yet nothing seems to be going on. Make it make sense. And as we're recording this video, we had a last minute update coming up from Iron Sights, so we are moving into leaked territory right now. If you don't want to see this, it's the time to leave, but this it seems to be a very interesting one. So if you are leaving, thanks for watching, appreciate your faces. For those of you guys who are staying, let's dive on into what's happening with Iron Sights, because this one really tickled my fancy. So this is Clen Darth 2. This is apparently a leaked special event. There is some sort of event tied to the planet that will result in a biome change. During this event, a large blue ringed planet appears, illuminating the surface of the planet. This event is set up similarly to how the Meridia black hole was, so this could be very interesting. As to what is this going to happen, when it's going to happen, we don't know, but this is a biome change that turns it blue. Now, I don't know if you know of any other species or faction that run and look very blue, but I'm going to leave that one to you guys to flood with the comment sections, because I think that the theory behind that is this could be quite bloody interesting. Now, as to when this is going to happen, we'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, we're going to move into your top comments right now, because we've got some interesting ones, and one that I really can't wait to respond to. I'll take a guess which one it is after you've heard all three. Nonetheless, this first one here states, I will be honest, I'm kind of glad that we did the orbital bombardment because the boost it gives to the liberation effort is insanely good. Now, this is where it confuses me, because everybody hated the orbital bombardment. I was not a fan of it. I still am not a fan of it. We have recordings where I'm trying to record gameplay for the videos, and I'm just dying consistently because I refuse to wear the backpack shield generator. Now, you can say that that's my fault, but I will say I shouldn't be forced to use specific moves just because of the DSS being above head. It shouldn't affect me to that degree. Nonetheless, we're going to dive into the next one. This one right here is an interesting one. It says, remember guys, form your own opinion of the state of the game based on how you feel. 100%, he nailed that half of it. This next part right here states, creators like Buzz and Cloud just have been hating on the game because they have decided to pivot the entire channels to cover the game, and they've obviously obviously upset the lack of content because they can't translate that into views and therefore can't make much money, hence the negativity. It gets more views, obviously. Again, not factual. Until more content comes along, this is all we can expect from Helldivers YouTubers. The fact that the game is in the best spot it's been in since launch. The Galactic War is making big strides with the building of the DSS. They've already confirmed they're working on more extra features for that. Now obviously goes in quite a bit more about people complaining and so on and so forth. If you want to read it, feel free, the links in the description somewhere to go and check it out. Nonetheless, no, actually you will very, very quickly understand that this channel has not pivoted to Helldivers content. This channel works very much on a basis of we cover a game until it loses its relevancy and move into another game that seems to tickle my fancy a little bit more. Right now we've got Path of Exile 2 on the horizon, of which we've already started uploading to that, and that's how the channel has operated up until this point for around 5 years now. It's been absolutely crazy, but we've had massive strands in different games for quite some time. Nonetheless, on top of that, make this one very well known. When the game does well and I'm allowed to be positive about things, the game actually helps a lot more. The channel does a lot better and the views are a lot healthier. The negativity does not seem to work too well on this channel, but I will refuse to not report the negative just to keep people happy. The idea of actually reporting news as it comes out is that good news is good news, bad news is bad news. You may not like either or, but nonetheless, it's still bloody happening. Moving into this final comment right here, though, it states, before the 60-day patch, Helldivers creators were complaining about wanting to see current content fixed before getting new content, but now that Arrowhead actually did that, suddenly any of all the YouTubers have to talk about is complaining that there's not enough new content. And again, we pretty much talk based on what community are talking about. A lot of the stuff that you'll see in our videos will revolve around the content that you guys put out as a community. So understand that one for a nutshell. The reason why we're talking about new content and the wanting of new content is because what you guys are communicating is that you want new content. Anywho, I'm happy to take all this on the chin. I know full well that what I do is what I'm happy with. So, nonetheless, we're going to carry on and keep going. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on. Appreciate your faces. And as always, I'll see you in the clouds.